Here is an unboxing and review of the Spigen Slim Armor Case for the iPhone 6 Plus with kickstand feature. Please note that this also works with the S variety of iPhone, even though it does not say so on the packaging. Full disclosure, I already opened this once, but I put it back in the box as it was so you could see exactly how it was. So, in the box, we have our case. And a tidbit on how to put the kickstand back if it were to fall off. Please note a quick top tip of this kickstand here is that if you fully snap it into place, you cannot get it out at all by hand. You would need something to pry it out with. So when you put it down, do not fully snap it into place, just push one corner in. It's not going to be exactly 100% flush, but at least you'll be able to lift it up without having to get something to pry it off with. It doesn't matter which side. If it's this side you move it on, or this side, just don't snap both ends in, or you will not be able to pull it out on your own. So the overall feel, this is a two-piece case, although you do not need to ever take it apart unless you really want to. This piece, your finger goes right through. It is quite a bit wider and longer than a minimalist case like the leather case from Apple. It is appreciably thicker. It will give you better drop protection and slightly better lay on the table protection though, because this does have a slight lip. You have this nice textured interior. I think this is made out of TPU compound, so it's like rubbery, bouncy. Let us put the case on my iPhone 6s Plus now. And as you see, I have a nice new screen protector on my device from the broken one that you see in my last video. So let's get this on here. Pushes right in. No fuss, no muss. We'll first note that the in-hand feel is very good. It's grippy. It's not going to slip out of your hands at all. It has a nice reveal of your Apple logo. It's perfectly cut slots around all the necessary ports, such as your camera with flash, your lightning port, your speaker grill, your headphone jack and microphone are all perfectly placed and cut, although they are a bit on the deep side. The only time this deepness comes as a problem is with the mute switch. This depth is too much to fit your thumb to manipulate it. You can't unless you have a small enough finger to fit into the slot, which is a little bit too narrow to fit a small finger, a large finger into. With this finger, however, I can, at the right angles, I can reach it. With my thumb, I will never reach it without a long nail. So, the volume buttons are very positive and easy to work. It has a very good feel, although it's worth noting that they are flush. The case makes them completely flush, so you don't feel it so much. If you rub your hand, you can feel the texture on here a bit, but it's pretty smooth, so maybe not as ideal as something where you had raised buttons. And the same for the power button on the side here. Again, it works very well, no problems with that. It's just flush with the body. You have a lay on the table design, a very minimalist lip, but there is lip nonetheless. The lip is slightly better than what you would get with the leather case from Apple or the transparent case that I demonstrated in another video. You do have a slightly better lip. So we'll lay on the table design so your screen never touches the surface. For this color iPhone, I really do like this color case. I think this is the gunmetal gray, I believe. The kickstand works great, and depending, although it is plastic, of course, a plasticky feel, so it will bend back a little bit, and you can bend it like that, but it does seem sturdy. It doesn't seem like it would fall off by accident. And depending on which side you lay it on, this way or that way, you will have a higher raised position, or like this, a lower, so almost like a typing position if you were typing on your keyboard. And with a 6S Plus, it's a pretty large screen, so you could theoretically kind of sort of type like that. So not too bad. I like the kickstand and lean feature for the purpose of watching movies on here, because I like watching film when I'm out and about or not near my computer or whatever. So it comes in handy having that kickstand versus having to look for something to lean my phone against or something to stick on the back of it. So that way it's just built in the case and I'm all good. So again, remember when you move this back, do not push both sides in, otherwise you will not be able to get it out by hand. You'll need something to pry it off with, like a thin piece of metal, a thin key, or some other pry mechanism. So the downside of that is it could maybe pop down. Oh, let me see. It's still in there pretty good, even though it's not snapped down on both ends. But it's still pretty flush. So overall, if I had to give this a number of stars out of 5, I'd probably give it maybe a 3.5. The negatives being, I would like to have a slightly thicker lip on the front here for slightly better protection. And this is just way too thick on the sides here. I mean, I really do like to have the volume mute switch more accessible, and this is just pretty bad. So if I decide I'm keeping this case, what I might do is actually trim the edge off of here with my Dremel, so that way I could actually fit my thumb in here. So otherwise it can't get my finger in there. And mixed feelings about these being flush. I would like them to be a little bit raised, but if you're coming from using something like the Apple case, it's kind of almost worse even, trying to find the buttons. So all things considered, this is actually easier to find your buttons than something like the Apple case, even with its flushness. So I do like the case. It looks nice, even though it does make the device a little bit wider and a little bit longer. It's still fine, manageable. At least I can be comfortable knowing that I have much better drop protection than this. And I love the fact that I will be able to watch my films now without having to look for something to lean my device against. So there you have it. I hope this video has helped those of you who may be considering purchasing this case as well. Oh, and lastly, I do like the fact that I can see my Apple logo there, because I like the Apple logo. It is nice. And anyway, please give this video a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, as it does help this video and the channel. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. I wanted to add a quick addition to this video, just pointing out that there are 2 tabs on the inside of the plastic here that hold this lever down. So let's say when you snap this down flush, and it's impossible to get out by hand when you do, that's because it's holding on to 2 tabs on either side here. So if you wanted to move it all the way down flush and not just push one end down, which leaves one side up a little bit. It's not really flush anymore, but at least you could move it out by hand. You could file down either of these tabs or both of them, although I wouldn't file it down completely just in case for whatever reason this no longer stays in on its own. So you definitely want to keep one of those tabs there, but I would just suggest making them protrude less. See right over there? So that way you can actually pull this out by hand. Because I want to have it in all the way where it's flush. I mean, it's just way too freaking tight in there. Can't get it out. I'd have to stick something in there to pry it out. So you could use like a little emery file or something to file that down. And as far as this here, so that way you can actually get a larger finger in it, I'm thinking about completely removing this side altogether, or maybe just filing inside here and here to widen the gap. I'll have to decide later. But yeah, that's all I wanted to add to this. Again, thanks for watching. Please like the video if you found it helpful, and it helps my video and channel when you do. And please subscribe if you want to see more.